Hello, 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 and welcome to episode number 23 of Short, Fat, and Balding, a podcast by armchair quarterbacks for armchair quarterbacks. Unfortunately, we did take a little break because of a really nasty storm that hit us, so we're gonna twin punch you. But I am Travis, one of the three hosts who will navigate you through sports debate for the next couple of hours. We also have the golfer.
Hello.
And the caddy.
Oh, he forgot about that. He's upset.
Needless to say, spoilers, even though it would have been last week's episode, so we figured we'd let you know. James lost. He was created an insurmountable deficit that he could not overcome, and, well, he'll be wearing his caddy outfit and directing which club to use if we probably won't listen to him. It was a good effort all season, but what was it? I deleted it, but was it 5 games? 6 games?
It was 10.
Oh, it was 10 at the end of it.
Yeah, because you made that last game worth 3 points.
Oh, I did. Yep, you're right.
Oh, that's right.
All right, so today we're going to make up for a missed week because we're going to talk Week 18 as well as Super Wildcard Weekend. And plus, the one thing that happened while we were gone, the University of Michigan Wolverines are national champions. And I plan on basking in that. I plan on enjoying every second of that. I plan on playing this multiple times and just letting everybody know that I'm gonna ride this. Also, James, I don't know if you noticed, but a fun little fact that connects us here is the fact that the college football 4-team format opened and closed with an Ohio State and a Michigan championship.
You know what? I'll take that. I mean, everything in between was SEC, but fine.
What did you just say?
Pretty much everything in between was SEC.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but whatever. So yeah, we've got all that and so much more on this football-packed episode of Short, Fat, and Balding. Okay, kicking things off. We're gonna get it out of the way so that way we can rip the Band-Aid. Everybody watched it. Michigan dominated. They are the college football playoff champions. They have the coaches trophy, they have the college football playoff trophy, and they have the Big Ten trophy. And I believe that is the end of Jim Harbaugh, but I'm happy he went out on a high note.
Yeah. You see the clip of JJ tossing the trophy to...
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so that was... Could you imagine if they dropped that and shattered?
Part of me really wanted them to. That's not just because it's Michigan, but like...
Just because it's funny when that shit happens. Like,
just to see how people would react.
Who was it that dented their trophy? Was it the Patriots?
The Patriots.
Yeah.
Tom Brady someone threw a baseball and Gronk bunted it with the trophy. And then Tom Brady with the Buccaneers yeeted it off a boat.
Yeah. I do remember that. It's crazy. But I can't think of, speaking of like crazy trophy things, I think it was a soccer team that dropped it in the front of their bus and like ran it over.
Oh. How do you get on the bus and not realize you didn't bring the trophy with you?
No, they did. They dropped it when they were like celebrating.
And they got ran over?
Real Madrid. Real Madrid waited 18 years to win the Copa del Rey trophy, only to drop the cup and watch it get crushed under the wheels of their celebratory bus.
That's kind of funny.
That's fucking hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to obviously quickly gloat, but I thought it was a thorough stomping by Michigan. I don't know how much of it you guys watched, but I watched the whole thing, obviously. But it was a close game for most of the game, but Washington really couldn't do anything. They kept, saying, "Oh, they're gonna have they're one big play away," but it just didn't come. And quite frankly, in this kind of like there was like a debate that was occurring into halftime, like did playing in that game hurt Michael Penix's draft stock because he just looked so rattled against a decent rush that like you got to question his ability to like be poised in the pocket. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people buy into too much into one game performances.
Yeah.
I think the thing is with the NFL, you can learn type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's no, like, you're not one and done.
Yeah, you could be coached, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, there's going to be a team that's going to take a chance on him regardless. So he could have gone out and thrown 4 picks, and somebody's still going to give him a shot based on what he did this year in total.
Well, yeah, I mean, people gave Johnny Manziel a shot, even though he was like a big red flag based on personality off the cuff.
Yeah. Didn't he like call the Browns and like beg them to draft him or something like that?
I don't think that's the case,
I
but
heard that somewhere.
I know that he like during the combine he like failed a bunch of like personality tests, like those psychological tests they do for you. Like he had like a whole bunch of red flags. But the Browns are the Browns, so they don't fucking care. They're like, we have a bunch of red flags.
Quarterbacks with red flags are a Brown thing.
Right. 100%.
They're like, oh, off the field issues?
Right.
Where do we sign up?
So speaking of the Browns, we'll jump into week 18. First things first, the most predictable outcome of the day was the Steelers beating the Ravens. That was the Saturday matchup, the early matchup.
Yeah.
Pretty sure all three of us said that was going to happen, just because that's how the division works.
Pretty sure we all made our picks last week and then switched it to the Steelers after we thought about it.
I think so. The Texans.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where one team's playing for something, the other one's just like, we're just trying to
just get in healthy. Yeah, they already had their 1 seed locked up, and the Steelers are trying to make the postseason, so it's a pretty obvious what was going to happen. I don't think any of the starters played for the Ravens. But moving on to the AFC South, where the Jaguars completed one of the biggest collapses in a regular season I've seen in a long time. I believe they could have had the division sealed up in like week 14 and then lost it. Just crazy. They finished the season 9-8 and lose to the future coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, Mike Vrabel, before he was fired.
You think Vrabel goes to the Eagles?
He is the odds-on favorite to go to the Eagles if Sirianni's fired, which I'm pretty sure he's gonna be fired.
Huh.
I'm cool with that. I fucking love the way Vrabel coaches. That dude's he's like Campbell, dude. He's a nut buster. He's just ballsy. I dig it. Speaking of the Eagles, they in week 18 they successfully completed their utter collapse and lost 27-10 to the New York Giants. Congratulations, Giants. Tyrod Taylor for 300 fucking yards. Yeah, right. The Bengals demolished the Browns. I don't know if the Browns were playing anybody.
They were not.
Okay. But either way, to finish the season, because what did Joey B go out week 3?
No.
No?
He went out Ravens Monday Night Football. I think that, or Thursday night football?
It was a Thursday night. It was a Thursday night.
I want to say it was like week 14. No.
12? Let's find out. It should have his stats games played. And he was the passing leader. He played 10 games, so it was week 10 or week 11, one of the two.
Week 11.
Yeah,
week 11.
But either way, because at that time, you guys were still struggling, right?
No, so he turned it around week 5.
So you won 4 in a row, weeks 5 through 9. You were 4-4 at the time, or 4-3, and then you lost to Houston, which was weird. I remember that game in week 10.
That Heather Boyd dropped.
Yeah.
And
then you lost in week 11. So Burrow goes down, and you guys are 4-5, and the season seems lost. And you finished out. I mean, you guys went 5-3 without Joe Burrow. That's a good sign for like the structure of your team.
Yeah, and like Browning played great, but he's not Joey B.
Well, no, it's like kind of like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick did great coming in to like replace injured quarterbacks, but he was dog shit as an actual starter. I'm sure it would be the same situation. But I mean, as far as the rest of your team, like that's what I always take away from that is that's a good sign that you guys have the pieces in place to like really dominate. Like I honestly think if Joey B's with you guys that the whole time, you're probably 11-6, 12-5. You definitely don't lose that Kansas City game, I don't think.
We don't lose that Kansas City game. We don't lose the Steelers. We were winning the Ravens game.
Right.
When he got hurt.
Yeah, the morale when he went down really caused that loss. You could see that they were just like, fuck.
Yeah, it hurts, you know. Like Jake Browning said, he's like, I think I proved I can be one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. Like the problem is right now, I'm on a team with top 5 quarterback. So,
backtracking a bit, Nico. Obviously, the win for the Giants puts them further down the chain. But what do you want them to address?
It only moved them down one spot.
Okay, what do you want them to address in the offseason? Offensive line, obviously, but what else?
In the draft or just in the offseason?
In general, I mean, obviously you can tell us what you want them to pursue in the draft because like they're done, obviously. So at week 18 they were done. So tell us what you like to see in the draft, what you like to see in the offseason. Just hit us with your analysis, and then I'll let James go.
Holy fuck! Where do I start? Honestly, obviously
proceeds to list off every position.
Hey, how about you fuck off real quick? No, obviously one of the glaring weaknesses on the team is the offensive line. So I think they should address that in free agency, somebody that's a little more established versus I think I said it in the last episode. They've invested too many high draft picks in the offensive line just for them to turn around and be absolute dog shit. You need a true number one receiver, and if not, then fucking use Jalen Hyatt more than they were because he was pretty much non-existent until like week 10, I think. Whatever week that DeVito took over.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, what I really think the issue is we need a decent quarterback. So that's why I've said it the last few weeks. I think the Giants should go after Jaden Daniels at number 6 instead of trying to address the offensive line. I think Jaden is still there come draft day. And if not, fucking trade away whoever you need to trade to get up to a higher pick in the draft and address the quarterback issue. I want to see them bring back Isaiah Simmons I don't know what the market cap is for like an edge rush linebacker hybrid, whatever the fuck he is. And there's one, Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney needs to come back, and Adoree Jackson needs to leave. So those are my big things. A true number one wide receiver, address the quarterback issue, fix the fucking offensive line because it's just a turnstile at this point. And
Can I
bring
ask
back
you a question real quick?
Simmons and McKinney. What?
Do you think they will go after a quarterback though? Because I mean, if you think about it, the whole purpose of drafting a quarterback in the first round is to have the guy come in and start or be a year two starter. You have Daniel Jones locked in for 4 years, was it?
Yeah.
So I
We
mean,
can
I
cut
understand.
him after
I
the end of
understand that,
this
but
year.
you
So we're go ahead.
what'd you say? Sorry, no,
I
I
said I think they can cut him after this year and not take as much of a cap hit, or after this
yeah.
coming season and not take as much of a cap hit. So there would be the year two starter anyway. And as long as they keep Tyrod Taylor in the clubhouse, I guess, for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
um, to try and teach the new guy some things because he's been around. He's seen quite a bit. Um, so that's why I say they should address the quarterback issue in the draft.
That's fair.
Yeah, I was curious because I know like a lot of these quarterbacks when you draft them first round high pick, the expectation is to come in and start year one or year two. And I don't like I don't know
Right.
what Danny Dimes' contract looks like. So I just
Yeah,
was kind
I
of
think it just gets
curious why
more
you
expensive as time goes on. So that's why
yeah.
I think it just gets more expensive and more against the cap as time goes on. So the sooner we can get out of that, the better. And that's
That's
why
fair.
I say
I just
like a Jaden Daniels type would fit well, especially with Dable, because we know how Jaden Daniels is both a dual threat with his legs and with his arm. And that's exactly what he did with Josh Allen. He made him into who he is today. So I think a dual threat under Brian Dable is a recipe for success.
you could also try and trade him away.
Yeah, but
40 million is gonna be
nobody's
hard to
gonna want to
do.
take that. Yeah. Oh,
No.
and bring back Saquon. Bring back Saquon. That's the number one priority.
You think so? Bring him
I think
back
so. Yeah.
without fucking pissing him off.
Yeah. Like if you're gonna tag him, do it sooner rather than later. He came out and said it. He's like, I'm gonna let my agents fucking do the talking. But if you're gonna tag me, do it. Don't wait until day of to figure it out. Because if it comes to that, I'm out. And he already said he wanted to be a Giant for life. So for him to not come back next season would honestly, I think, turn a lot of people away from even watching the Giants anymore because he was a good 70% of our offense.
That's why I was kind of confused on when they paid Daniel Jones and not him. I was like, how are you going to justify paying Danny Jones when you have Saquon, who is your offense? He's your heart and soul of your offense. Pay the man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no,
You know, and it's not
absolutely.
like he's
I
just
said it. I said it when we first started recording that they should have gave him a 5-year deal, 65 million. That felt like a good number, especially for the way the running back market is, and just be done with it. Bring back Daniel Jones on the franchise tag. And I don't think if they bring Daniel Jones back on that franchise tag at the beginning of this past season, I don't think we're having this conversation the way we are right now.
No, I think that would have been the smarter move because then you can draft quarterback here. No. Right? So
Yeah.
you're put in a situation now where you can draft a higher tier quarterback. And I mean, let's be honest, you're not going to turn a team around in a year. So you're going to go through some
No,
struggles. Let
absolutely
that
not.
quarterback struggle for a little bit. Or maybe he comes in and lights the world on fire. You know what I'm saying? But let him get his struggles
Yeah.
out of the way while you build that team around him. And then you're in a better position. You're getting wow, Jesus. You're getting Barkley's prime while your quarterback's still growing and learning. So it not only
Yeah. No,
benefits Saquon
absolutely.
because he's getting paid and he's happy and he's still getting his touches, but it benefits your quarterback too because they're going through those struggles, but you also are feeding the rock to Saquon.
Right.
Well,
Because this, I think, this will be Saquon's 6th year in the league coming
yeah.
up. So I think he's only either 26 or 27. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but give him till he's in his early 30s. See where he's at that point in his career, because as it stands today, the Giants are just wasting his prime.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I agree.
James, we obviously had a brief discussion, but the I mean, I don't see any glaring weaknesses. Obviously, it wasn't as bad of a scenario as the Giants had, where it was pretty obvious they needed to address O-line and some other things. What do you think the Bengals offseason will look like?
I think you have to slap T. Higgins with that franchise tag.
Okay.
You have to. If you can work something out long term, work it out. He said he wants to be in Cincinnati. Everybody that's a Bengals fan wants him in Cincinnati. Um, we're losing. The problem is with Joe getting paid and Jamar's contract looming.
Mm-hmm. Salary
We
cap.
are we're gonna lose a few guys. Um, a couple of the bigger names. DJ Reader's a free agent. Tyler Boyd's a free agent. Chidobe Awuzie is a free agent. Jonah Williams is a free agent. Those who I'd say are big guys outside of T. So I think they need to lock down T and DJ Reader.
Mm-hmm.
Get DJ if you can on a 1 or 2 year deal. He's getting older. He's been getting hurt quite a bit. Awuzie didn't look the same this year. Bounced back from his ACL. So I think they need to maybe get a veteran just to kind of bolster the cornerback room. We have DJ Turner, who he didn't play bad, but he's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? And we played some good teams, especially in division.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them bolster that. I think their first they have 20, 18. I don't know. They have pretty mid draft spot.
Yep.
If Brock Bowers is available, Georgia tight end,
Yeah.
if he is available, they need to take him. They need a deep tight end who has a lot of potential. Because I mean, we had CJ Uzama the year we went to the Super Bowl. Joe utilized him like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Hayden Hurst. Joe used him like crazy. And both of those guys went on to get bigger contracts.
Right.
We need a tight end. We need someone we can rely as an outlet, especially losing Tyler Boyd in the slot. We have a young guy I'm really excited about, and Andre Yotivash. But
Yoshivash.
and Yoshivash, they call
That's
him
a pretty good
Yosh or
name.
Yoshi.
they're
But
going
again, he
rookie.
was a rookie this year. So he caught four touchdowns, I think so. But so they need to keep T. They need to bring Reader back, or if you're not going to bring Reader back, left heavy on interior linemen, and then losing Jonah Williams at right tackle. By the sounds of it, he's not coming back. So you got to look for a replacement there. So I mean, they always draft best player available. I think they need to focus on tight end, O line, and maybe cornerback. But that's where I'm at. I'd like to see Brock Bowers or Cade Stover. I think Cade Stover would be a perfect fit
Yeah.
out of Ohio State, but I don't know where he's going to be,
Right. I mean, it all
if he'll
depends
be
on
around for
what
that.
happens because sometimes even draft day, you can, as Nate likes to point out to me all the time, you can expect to have somebody trades up and snipes him.
Yeah. Or guys slide.
He's still
It
pissed
will
off.
Levis.
Yeah. Nate's still pissed off
So
about Jordan Davis.
I'd like to see him address a couple spots. I think mostly our offensive line will be fine if we can get a decent right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want them to I want them to I don't know if I'd say release. I want them to trade Joe Mixon while he's still got some value.
Mm-hmm.
And then because there's going to be a team out there who will take him for a third rounder or a second rounder.
Extra dime a dozen.
Yeah. But we have a young guy I'm really high on. I love the kid, Chase Brown, running back from Illinois. This year was his rookie year. Then I think it was, I can't remember which week. I think it was after Burrow went down. They were like, all right, let's start getting this kid some touches. And the kid can ball.
Mm-hmm.
He screens, he's quick. He fights through tackles. Like, that's what we need. And he's young and he's cheap right now. So I think with all the big contracts we have, we need to get rid of Mixon's because Mixon I think is like 12 mil a year, something along those lines.
Yeah.
So that'll open up more money to spend. You can give to T. Yeah, the AAV is 12. So you can give that to T. And I think that'll keep T around. At least I think Joe Mixon's under contract for another 2 years. But I don't know. It's going to get rough because we're going to have to start relying on young guys to fill
That's what happens
gaps.
when you pay a quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want. It sounds obvious, but I just want them to draft the right guys. I think they need to start. They're notorious for drafting guys who have high ceilings but end up being busts, and that's the problem with the draft. You just don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
I hope they can get better with making the right choices,
Right.
drafting the right guys.
Well, here's to hoping. The 2024 looks good for the Bengals. I would think.
I hope so. It would be even better if number 5 was there.
Right. Bouncing off of that, the only other major event that happened was obviously Bills going from 4th place in the AFC East to the number 2 seed in the AFC and winning the AFC East in 8 weeks. So good for them. They beat the Dolphins 21-14 at home to secure that. And I am very proud of them.
I like that Bills team.
I like that Bills team too. The Rams beat the 49ers to stumble into the playoffs as well. And that's really it. Everybody else is kind of locked up. The Eagles' collapse continued, and the Cowboys secured the division. The Niners already had the 1 seed locked up. So moving on to well, actually, you know what? Let's take a little break, and then we'll jump into Super Wildcard Weekend because I'm sure we all have things to talk about what happened. So
Okay.
take a little break. 1 second. All right, so moving into wow, my mouth stopped working there. I legit in my head said Super Wildcard Weekend. My mouth said baby. So
Lift both
right.
your arms up. Maybe one side not drooping.
They're both doing great. Thank you for asking.
Perfect.
So to kick things off, the Texans beat the fucking doors off of the Cleveland Browns, which is so shocking because, as you guys know, I was literally there 3 weeks ago for the same matchup, and it went the complete opposite. Amari Cooper's 265 yards that day, and then they go there again, and I was thinking, oh, here we go, and that did not happen.
Oh, trust me, I'm well aware. I got into a football pool at work, and I ended up drawing fucking Cleveland and LA, so there goes my $20.
Oh. Woof skis. CJ Stroud.
I remember I turned that game on. I started to watch it, and then I thought I was dreaming because in a span of 3 minutes, like my subconscious registered that 2 pick sixes happened.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and the 2 pick sixes had actually happened.
You're like, what? The Matrix?
I legitimately thought I just dreamt it because I was watching the game, and then I woke up and I hear, threw back-to-back pick sixes on fucking 2 consecutive pass attempts.
That's fucking crazy.
You know what's wild? In the beginning of the second quarter, Cleveland actually had the lead, so it wasn't even a blowout from the jump.
No, I'm sure if those 2 pick sixes don't happen, it's a very different game. But
it's just nuts.
With that being said, I mean, the lights don't seem to get too bright for CJ Stroud, man. Holy shit. He
you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, fucking good on him.
Yeah.
Emmy Neutron, have yourself a day, my guy.
Yeah, he was there. He was ready. Nico Collins, 96 yards and a tutty. Good days for the young guys all around.
And that's without Tank Dell.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, that. If you're a Texans fan, you got to be hyped because that franchise is looking like they're going the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are only going to get more experienced and more confident as they go, and then I could see them, if they keep their core together, I could see them going and being like the Manning Colts, where like the AFC South is their division and it's not up for debate. Because Jacksonville's going the wrong way, and I mean, to be perfectly frank, the Titans are bad, and the Colts, I don't know, man. The Colts are weird, but it's the Texans division as they get everything together.
With Richardson, the Colts are a different team, though.
Yeah, they are. Jumping to the fucking Tundra game, the Dolphins did exactly what we all thought they were going to do, which is lose. No way they were going to go into Arrowhead in 1 degree weather and do anything. And
literally,
Mike McDaniel starts the year looking like a fucking genius and ends the year with people saying, is he really the answer? Is he really the guy? I mean, I think he's fine, but
yeah,
it's still one of those things. The lights seemed a little too bright for Tua. Didn't have a great game. That Chiefs defense is better than is billed, but either way, and when it comes to the playoffs, it's time to put your big boy pants on, and you got to perform. And 1 touchdown, I get that it's cold, but 1 touchdown with that offense is a little unacceptable.
And even the touchdown was the Tyreek Hill touchdown. That was underthrown by a mile.
Right. Yeah, it was a terrible. Yeah, it's just because you have Tyreek Hill, which is pretty much just chuck it. Tyreek's out there somewhere. My favorite game of the weekend, the Packers over the Cowboys.
Oh God! That brought me so much joy.
Yeah, it did.
It was a 16-point game, but if you told me
It wasn't though.
it was a 40-point game, I would have been like, yeah, that checks. I mean,
See,
God.
all the Cowboys fans are in my fucking DMs talking about how shitty Jalen Hurts was, blah, 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 which I don't disagree. Had a shit game, but they talk about Dak Prescott with 403 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. I'm like, dude, 200 yards of that were when the Packers were already up by 40. So shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter. When the game's on the line, when the drives mattered, he didn't show up. So you can't be like, oh, Dak's like, okay, cool. Like, we can do anything we want if we just eliminate the actual scenarios and just go by pure numbers, which is why what's advanced analytics exists. So, like, yeah, Dak Prescott looks great on paper. He's actually ass when the game matters. So, and I'll continue to say that because he's yet to prove me wrong in 8 years of being a quarterback, or 6 years, or however fucking long it's been.
2016.
So 8 years.
I don't want to hear shit. They pulled their starters. Like, he beat up on the Packers' second string. Yeah. Like, chill.
You're the best 8-0 at home with the best point differential in the NFL. You have a team that literally scraped into the playoffs with a 9-8 record, a 7 seed, and they go in and they don't just win. It wasn't like some, oh, well, we let the team that, wasn't quite as good stay close. They got the confidence and they did what they had to do at the end. No, they thoroughly fucking beat the doors. That was not Jerry Jones's world. That was fucking Lambeau Field as far as I'm concerned, because the Packers tore up the field one way and the other. I mean, they got what's Jones's first name? I never remember it.
Jerry.
No.
Jerry.
The running back.
Aaron
Jones, yeah. So Aaron Jones runs for friggin' 118 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then you have a receiver with 6 receptions, 151 yards, 1 touchdown. Like, and this defense was supposed to be one of the best defenses in the NFC. I mean, it's thoroughly embarrassing to get beat that bad, get that beat bad at home, or get beat that bad at home, and on top of that, be the literal best home team in the NFL for the entire regular season, because that just puts the little chef's kiss on the stamp that everybody says about the Cowboys, which is they are a fucking regular season princess, and doesn't matter, the postseason, they just shit their pants. Like, this should have been a no-brainer. If this is a regular season game, the Cowboys win that game 40-16.
There's 3 things that are for certain in life. Death, taxes, and the Cowboys bounced in the first round.
I mean, it's a systemic issue, and I listened to Dan Patrick today, and he talked about he asked Steve Young. He goes, who had a worse season, the Eagles or the Cowboys? And he's like, the Eagles season was really fucking bad. He goes, they got issues to work out, they got locker room problems, they got questions about Nick Sirianni. But he's like, if you are a Cowboy and you are a Cowboys fan, that is the worst thing that could possibly happen. He's like, Jerry Jones didn't even want to be seen. It's bad. So,
yeah. Oh, that was embarrassing on their part.
Right. Moving on out of that, my absolute...
considering just what was it, 3 or 4 weeks prior, the Giants beat them.
Right. Yeah, and Dak was the MVP, so, like, whatever.
Right, yeah.
They're so delusional. My literal favorite game of the week, and when I say that, I mean it was just entertaining, and I liked both teams, but the Lions beating the Rams and seeing Lions fans literally cry over one playoff win, I'm really feeling it for them. James has to know because he's been through it.
First time in 32 years.
Right. I mean,
I know that feeling, and I am so happy for every Lions fan out there. Like,
did you
I don't know.
Did you guys see
it made my heart feel good.
The report from the Michigan Treasury Department?
Ooh.
They said that their estimates are with each Lions home game, the city of Detroit will see $20 million in economic boost. Like, the shopkeepers in the town were like, we've never seen anything like this after the playoff game. They were like, we literally couldn't handle what was coming our way. Like, people are just so happy about the Lions, they don't care they're spending money on anything.
A lot of people probably came into town for that game. I mean, if you're a Lions fan living anywhere,
Well, yeah, it would be
they
like,
finally get to host a playoff game. You
I mean, quite frankly, it'd be like
it's not even.
us. I mean, if the I'm saying this right now, if the Buffalo Bills make the Super Bowl, I'm going to Buffalo for the Super Bowl. I need to be in that town. I'm not a Bills fan. They're like little brother. Like I like them because like in the aspect that they're a local team and their fans are fucking nuts. And I want to be there for that. And I'm sure people who are like around the Michigan area are like, yeah, I'm going to Detroit. Fuck, I don't even care about the Lions, but I want to see them burn the city to the ground if they win.
I'm telling you right now, if Buffalo wins the Super Bowl, Buffalo will cease to exist as a city.
Yeah, they thought lake effect snow was bad.
Kathy Hochul will wake up in the morning and go, "Well, Buffalo is gone."
Yeah,
I'm like, what do you mean Buffalo's gone?
They're up by 20 in the fourth quarter. She declares a preemptive state of emergency in the city of Buffalo. She's like, let's just get it out of the way. Oh fuck. I'll go though. I'm definitely gonna go. The Monday night, the Bills took care of things against the Steelers, which was to be expected. That was a pretty uneven matchup. And the Buccaneers took care of things against the Eagles, which was to be expected.
Actually, speaking of the situation in Buffalo, I know a lot of people are complaining about how they move the game and they're like, "Oh, the weather, the weather, the weather. If you don't like the weather, put a dome on it." As New York residents, I want to tell you right now, last week, our weather was not pretty.
No.
We're not in Buffalo.
Yeah.
We're in a similar situation to Buffalo. A lot of what Buffalo got, we got.
We're off a different lake.
Yeah, but same.
Well, the other thing is that
same concept.
People that like say that kind of stuff also are like from the Midwest, and they don't know what a lake effect band is. They're used to like the light blowing snow. They get some like crazy storms, but like they get like those polar vortexes that come down and like that's what brings their snow. They don't get that like a lake effect band can be gone 1 second and then come back down and literally dump 6 feet of snow on you in 3 hours and then be like, what the fuck? And like,
yeah,
if that could
like last year on Christmas,
right? And if that could potentially
you
happen,
couldn't see anything.
Yeah, if that could potentially happen, you can't risk having 60 to 80,000 people in one location unable to get out. That's a fucking problem. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe, where they actually had to shut down I-90 by Buffalo because they got so much snow. People like died.
Last year.
Was it last year that bus?
It was last year, right around
last year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was last year.
Maybe.
There was like 4 or 5 dead.
Yeah, because they ran out of
because we got it. I think we got like 4 or 5 feet around that time.
Yeah,
but in Buffalo, like
they got
all of their overpasses had snow like almost up to the bottom of the overpass.
Yeah, I know one spot or near like one of those smaller like outskirts of Buffalo got like 10 feet. They recorded. It was nuts because what?
That being said, with the lake effect snow, like I seen the guy made a video on Twitter. He was a Steelers fan talking shit. He's like, "I'm in downtown Buffalo. There's nothing going on here," and I was like, "Yeah, that's right." But literally 5 miles down the road, it could be completely white out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't get it. That's what I mean. They don't get it.
It's like I lived it. I went down to New York City a few years ago for a concert, and I remember we were in the middle of a snowstorm, and I know you guys are familiar with 81, so that final overpass coming out of Syracuse.
Just a white line.
So it was whiteout. It was whiteout conditions from here to Syracuse.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then just clear as day.
As soon as you crossed underneath that overpass, I still saw grass.
Yeah.
There was grass. Like there was no snow to be found.
It's like you hit a different biome in Minecraft.
Literally.
That's what I tried because I had friends that asked me. They're like, I don't understand. I'm like, because it's unpredictable, and so 1 second you could be perfectly fine. You'll see blue skies, and they'll cut into Buffalo, and the field's perfectly clean. Everything's fine. They could cut away, do like a 30-second ad break, and come back, and that storm could shift south, and all of a sudden there's 6 inches of snow in the stadium in 30 minutes. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's what happens.
But I do have
Lake
to hand it
effect
to
snow is wild.
the Buffalo fans though, showing up at 10 o'clock the night before to shovel out the stadium just so they could play.
Yeah. Also, they're fucking absolutely insane. I mean, some of the videos I saw of them for this weekend's tailgate was nuts.
Not to
yeah.
mention that half the stadium was still covered in snow, and fans are like digging their ways to their seat and
Yeah.
just did not give a fuck.
And I have to admit, if I had to pick the two scenarios, I would rather dig my way to my seat than have my beer explode because it's so cold. And that was Kansas City.
Yeah.
We got to see some all-time football weather this weekend. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So moving into divisional rounds. Ravens are hosting the Texans and the 49ers are hosting the Packers on Saturday. And have you guys seen that they might have to move the Bills game again because of the storm coming up?
Really?
Yeah, it's already like on the table.
Jesus.
Fucking nuts. New York weather, baby.
Yeah, this is
Tuesday
The
we're
thing
getting
is-
a once in a generation windstorm, and then
yeah. But the thing
Saturday
is
and
like,
Sunday you can't see.
is like also it's been a weird winter because usually this is like our December weather. Like we usually November, December is when we get all the lake effect snows because when the lakes are cooling. But it was such a mild November and December that all that normal shit got pushed off. Because usually, you guys know, I mean, usually January, February are fucking just frozen. It's just cold. There's no snow.
Yeah.
Right.
So to see storms like this late in the year is like, or I guess late in winter, or early in the year, but it just sucks. It just sucks.
You know what's crazy? So last week we had a windstorm. We had hurricane force winds.
Yep.
Then we had the winds again with snow over the weekend.
Yep.
We are going to get hit with snow again today or tonight
Through
tomorrow.
Thursday. Yep.
Through Thursday. And Monday is going to be 32 degrees.
Yeah.
And then next Thursday is going to be 40 degrees.
Yeah. Welcome to Northern New York.
40
folks.
degrees. It's just wild.
In case you ever wondered what bipolar weather patterns looked like, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So
I'm just happy we all have power. We're all good to go again.
Amen.
That was nuts.
That was how long?
Amen.
I think I was out of power the longest, wasn't I? If I remember correctly through the texts.
Yeah.
Because I was out from.
Got me beat.
Yeah, I was out from Tuesday night to like late into Wednesday.
I was out from Tuesday night to Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, so I
didn't lose anything.
I should have taken a video because I couldn't sleep the night of the windstorm. And after everything died down, I went out for a drive at like 4:30 in the morning, and it was like one of the creepiest things I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, I've never seen so many trees down in our town.
Well, that
but it was that
at 4:30 it was still dark. So
yeah,
I'm just like driving through the city with my high beams on. It's fucking nuts.
Coming across tree after tree.
Yeah, I mean they had that.
It was wild
on East Main, and the one that. Did you see what happened on North Hamilton? I mean, Nico, you're right there. But...
Yeah, that tree ended up in someone's house.
Yeah, right here, right through the top floor.
I'll
take a picture tomorrow on my way to work. But there's
how
a tree.
familiar are you? Well, obviously, Travis, you're really familiar with the road.
Yeah.
So, head towards Huntington. It's the third house on the left.
Yeah. No, I drove up and took a look at it. It's.
Oh, okay.
It's jarring. Yeah, it's right before. I can never remember the name of that cross street, but I always took that to go to Archjug to get the
Bronson.
No, the one to go to over to Central.
Oh, Street. Remington.
Yeah, Remington. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, I took Chelsea over there. I was like, dude, this is crazy. But yeah, no. So it's yeah, we get all that wind, trees knocked down. We got power companies all the way up from Florida to help us out, and then as a big thank you for getting through that, we get 2 winter storms with feet of snow. Yay.
Yeah.
On to football, because I'm not going to get depressed if I talk about the weather. So, moderately spicy matchup. Texans at the Ravens. Baltimore's favored by 7.5. The over/under is 43.5. What do you guys think? Who do you guys take?
Go ahead, Nico. It's not for anything.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's getting through Baltimore
Baltimore's
except
your
for
AFC.
maybe Buffalo.
I would say I think Buffalo can do it, but Baltimore's your AFC pick, basically.
For this weekend, yeah.
Okay.
I'm taking Baltimore Buffalo in the AFC Championship.
Okay. Cool. So you think Buffalo's going to handle the Chiefs?
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
So
They've been riding high. They've been riding high for way too long.
Yeah, and they don't look good this year. What were you going to say, James?
you know
No, I'm
what?
talking about Buffalo. Buffalo is riding high, especially these last few weeks.
Oh yeah, they're like a team of
They
destiny
feel
right
like they have something to play for. Yeah, they have something to play for. So I think they get it done.
What were you going to say,
So
James?
it's not official anymore. Do you know what this game is?
The Bills-Chiefs game?
No, the
No, it's the crime statistics game of the week.
Oh, okay.
Houston Baltimore is the crime statistics game of the week. So
Got
here's
both.
what you're gonna do. No matter what the over is, you're gonna take it. And then I want you to give me, I would say probably 2+ TDs, over 2 TDs for CJ Stroud this weekend. But I think it's going to be a hell of a game. Baltimore, I think, is going to win it based solely on crime statistics. I'm going to be rooting for Houston because Ohio State fan, big CJ Stroud guy. But yeah, this would be my crime statistics.
Crime statistics game of the week. Speaking of locks, you guys have sports books, right? You guys have accounts, FanDuel and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I went over and counted how many I have. It's not pretty.
It's well, I mean that's
Fucking degen.
he's a legitimate degenerate. That's good. Every podcast needs a degenerate, and we have a Nico, so that's good. The important thing is that for people like you, Nico, we now have a new sponsor that is partnering with the podcast. BetStamp is your one-stop shop for all of your sports books in one location. Now, I know that we went through the sign-up process, and it was really, really easy. You just go on, you link up all your accounts, so like your MGM, your Caesars, your FanDuel, your DraftKings, your Underdog, whatever other, was it?
Rivers.
Prize Picks.
Prize
Bet
Picks,
Rivers.
that's the other one, yeah. Bet Rivers. Yeah, any of those, and you link them through the BetStamp app, and it'll give you the best odds, all your tickets, everything right there in one convenient place to check it out. So say you wanted to do the crime statistics lock of the week. You can go in and you can go to that game and you can see which book is offering the best odds for it, which one has the cool parlay, blah, 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 various things that you want to check out. And you can then go into that book, make that bet, and then BetStamp will keep that bet slip in the app for you to track right there. So that way you don't have to go into each app and check on that for you. So when you use multiple sports books, you can ensure you always get access to the best available odds, which is key to the successful sports betting, even if you're James, because he's not good at that. If you want to take advantage of these benefits and support the Short Fat Bald brand, you can sign up for your sportsbook content at signupexpert.com/SFB. Nico, I got that right?
Yep, you did it.
Nailed it. Cool. So yeah, signupexpert.com/SFB, the initials of Short Fat Bald, and you can go and sign up. Use the link, get the promos. I believe they're doing promos like a $10 match and things like that for all the sports books. So you go in, you link up for as many as you can, and you help us out, you help yourself out, and you go ahead and make yourself some money. And also, if you do win the crime statistics lock of the week, you have to mail us a beer. That's a new clause I'm writing in. What do you guys say?
I'll allow it.
Okay, cool. So make sure you email us
That
if you
seems
do
fair.
win, and we'll tell you what kind of beer we want. We'll give you the PO box and mail that to, and that's that. But yeah, so once again, that's signupexpert.com/SFB to sign up for all your sports books via BetStamp. There is a website and there is a mobile app, Apple or Android. So go ahead and sign up now and start making that money.
We'll get you a pretty picture. You can go right on over to BetStamp, place your bets for the crime statistics game of the week. I know we just missed with not last week, but the weeks before. But I think this one's going to be a hit here.
We did just miss on that. Make you sad.
Yeah.
That'd have been crazy to hit a
We missed on the Devontae Adams, right?
Yeah, one touchdown.
Devontae Adams touchdowns,
I
yeah.
missed it because it was 2, and he only had 1. But I gotta
You know who you could have taken for better odds for that?
a person who actually hit. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, Jacoby Myers.
Yeah. Get the fucking thought out, Travis. Oh, I gotta do a cutaway for that. I want to do like a police chase in the background and shit. I got a whole thing planned.
Nice.
With like the classic radio voice, CSGW, crime statistics game of the week. Fucking
Air horns and everything.
yeah, well, not that was like police sirens. It's terrible, but it was police sirens.
Oh, that sounded like an air horn.
Yeah, police sirens in the background with like gunshots and shit. It'll be great. I can't wait. So you already said that you're gonna pick the Bills. So Bills Chiefs, we're talking about it, obviously. James, do you share the sentiment that the Chiefs are not as mighty as they once were, and that the Bills are going to handle business in Orchard Park?
I've been saying since probably midway through the season that the Chiefs aren't as mighty as they were last year. I think that game is going to be a blowout. Taylor Swift's going to do some crying, and then we're not going to have to listen to any more Taylor Swift for the rest of the year.
Amen.
I think Buffalo by 20.
Wow. All right.
I just think Buffalo's riding high. I think the problem is I've said it before and I'll say it again. Miami was fraudulent.
Yes.
Miami's not as good as their record indicated, as some other games indicated.
Right.
So them losing to the Chiefs by 20 or whatever they lost by.
It was 19, but yeah, 26-7.
To be expected.
Right.
That's what should have happened. If the Dolphins won that game, it wouldn't be a, oh, look how mighty they are. It would be you beat the Chiefs, who aren't they're a shell of their former self, who got lucky because they played in a really bad division.
Right.
I would almost take the Bills minus a touchdown in this game.
That's fair.
I don't think it's going to even be close.
Also, the one big thing for me, and the reason why I'm so confident, is this is the first time that Patrick Mahomes has ever had to go on the road in the playoffs.
And he's going into a hostile environment.
Yeah, he's going into the fucking pit.
Like, we talk about 12th man, they talk about how Kansas City gets loud. I've been in Buffalo when they were playing Baltimore or Cincinnati. It was a nothing burger game. Andy Dalton was our quarterback. We were tanking for Tua at that point. And it was loud. And that wasn't even postseason.
This might be a joke that you guys don't get, but plenty of people will do it. But I have referred to the Buffalo as like the Mos Eisley of NFL locations. You guys see Star Wars? No? Okay. Mos Eisley, when he asks him what it is, he's like, "You'll never find a place more full of like a wretched hive of scum and villainy."
That's fair, but I love Bills Mafia.
Oh, me too. I'm saying that it's like unhinged like that. Like there's like no rules. Like you go to a Bills game and the gloves come off. Doesn't matter.
For fuck's sake, they threw a dildo on the field every time Tom Brady was in town for fucking years. Dude, literally
last night they threw snowballs at Pickens to try and get him to drop the ball. The place is unhinged. And I love it. I respect them for it. And they have an identity and they stick to it. They go fucking nuts. They're like the fan embodiment of Berserker Vikings. They would just drug up and like lock in a cage until the war and then let them loose. And they're just fucking nuts. That's Bills fans. They wait all
They
week.
had enough.
You know,
They had all the snow for it. So,
right. And
I mean, what are you gonna do?
They wait all week shoveling out the snow, miserable, just fucking building the anger, and then Sunday comes and they just let it all out. I live for that. They are blue collar to the core.
You know for a fact the guy who threw the snowball at Pickens, his snowblower broke earlier that day, and he was just done with life.
100%, dude. He is like pissed he had to use a shovel.
He's
Also,
like, I had to fucking Uber here.
I had
get out of my
I had
driveway.
a fun statistic for you guys. I hope it didn't get deleted off of my Snapchat. It did not. To this week was the first round of the playoffs was the first time in NFL history that the Bills, Browns, and Lions were all in the postseason.
Oh.
Yeah, they called it the Rust Belt Trio. I count Cleveland as part, or not Cleveland. I count Cincinnati as part of the Rust Belt too. So I didn't want to say like all the Rust Belt teams made it in, but it was the first time that that's ever happened. So that's pretty cool. Moving to the NFC, we have the Saturday night game is the 49ers and the Packers. 49ers are favored by 8.5. The over-under is 50.5, which feels like a lot of points, but it is an offensive league.
And Green Bay did just put up 48 against what was supposed to be a top 5 defense.
Yeah, dude. See, this is where I start to think about it, because like the Niners, they've been sitting. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where like the bye. I always question it, because like you have a team like the Packers who is fucking feeling themselves right now. They could very well walk into Santa Clara and they might do like they're not the better team, but they might come out and hit you with a sucker punch where they're up 14. 10 minutes into the first quarter, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And I don't know if the 49ers offense is built to come back from that. So if that happens, rough day.
I think the Packers win this game.
You think the Packers win, really?
Yes. If I'm betting on it, I'm putting $10 on the Packers money line.
Well, if you're going money, or you're just the money line, you're not doing the you're not doing the spread. You're doing the straight money line. So you're like Packers straight.
I'm doing straight money line.
That's fucking insane. I do not have that confidence.
That is wild to me.
I would like to see that. I do not. I am not confident that would happen. I definitely would take the Packers.
It's going to happen.
I would take the Packers in the spread.
I would take them plus 5.5. Yeah, or plus 6.5, whatever the line is.
It's 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah,
I would take them plus 6.5.
Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely take them.
Yeah. No, I'm going money line. Packers win this game.
All right, dude. That's the balls out of your pants pick of the week. I'll tell you that. New cutaway.
Yeah, holy fuck.
That's fucking ballsy, dude. If you hit that, that's
time for Berkey's balls.
What's his name? Big streamer, really skinny guy, long black hair.
Big streamer, really skinny guy, long black hair. I got nothing. What's he play?
I don't know. It's is it? Hold on. Let me figure out if this is him or not.
I have no visuals, so I can't answer the is it question.
No, that's not.
You talking about Matt
the guy
Falcon?
that? No, it's the guy that like they put him in a bunch of fucking meme videos. He's the one that just like raises his hands over his head and goes, "Whoop."
He goes, what?
You know the clip that he's like he's pulling his cock out.
No, I don't. I don't know that clip at all.
I'm pretty sure it's the same guy too, but I can't fucking remember his name. Oh. Fuck, this is gonna annoy me. I know exactly who it is. I can picture the guy. I just don't know what his name is.
Most Critical?
Yes, Moist Critical.
Yeah.
Yes. Him. Yes.
Yeah, I know now I know what you're talking about. And
We need that
Marshmallow. I couldn't.
they always cut away to him when they do the TikTok rankings for the woo.
Yes, that one.
Yeah. That's going to be the audio cutaway for that. You're right, 100%.
Yes,
100%.
that's what I was trying to get at. You can just cut out my whole fucking
Oh no, it's staying in there
wheel
because
spinning, but the hamster dead.
it's fine. I love that kind of content where we're just all like staring into the void.
Wheel spinning, but the hamster's dead.
I can't wait until we are set up in the studio and I can do some funny little fucking edits where like you're doing that and I just zoom in on your face with no life in it at all as you're trying to think so hard about that and just crickets the whole time on the fucking edit. Be good stuff. All right, so James put his cock on the table and said Packers, so that's cool.
Do it for Harambe.
Dude, Cincy has to win for Harambe. That's where it happened, bro. The world will not go back to normal until Cincinnati wins the Super Bowl and makes up for the loss of Harambe. You'll see. If Cincy wins the Super Bowl, the U.S. will reach a golden age. World peace.
I don't know about world peace.
You wait.
It's getting a little busy over in the fucking Middle East.
Buddy, it's getting busy everywhere. You got, what the fuck is it? Ethiopia is threatening to send a regional conflict into Africa. North Korea is talking mad shit. Like, it's just a mess everywhere. This is not a political podcast, but
Pretty soon we'll be talking about World War III and how sports are paused because of it.
Yeah, then it will become a political podcast, and it might become a resistance podcast. You never know.
Wolverines.
So the final game to discuss is the Lions hosting the Buccaneers. Lions are 6.5-point favorites. Over under 48.5 points. I think it's the Lions, and I think it's the Lions by like 20. Honestly, I think Dan Campbell is gonna have those guys eating fucking nails in the morning and like doing the meth that German troops did before the fucking Blitzkrieg, like just fucking maniacal shit.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Eminem told them if they don't win the Super Bowl, then they're all getting a diss track.
I've never resonated more with a human being than I have Dan Campbell of late, because I saw the slow-mo video of him losing his mind on a referee, and as he does it, just a big fucking piece of dip comes flying out of his mouth, and he's just fucking so upset, and I'm like, we've all been there. We've all lost little chants because we're so angry we can't contain ourselves.
Trust me, I've been there.
100%.
Eamon has probably cost me an entire fucking roll of dip in my life.
I'm sure.
That's fair.
And just pure rage and disbelief.
I miss the Copenhagen wintergreen.
Do you? I switched to mint immediately when it came out.
I went back and forth.
Yeah, I never went back and forth. I was mint all the way to the end.
Yeah,
I did. When I was
did
doing
you ever
it,
do long cut?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
That's
know.
all
That.
I
I thought you were a pouches guy.
Oh no, not at all.
Long cut.
I did Grizzly Mint to start, then switched to Grizzly Wintergreen, and then somebody put me onto.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Everybody's starter is Grizzly.
Somebody put me
My first
onto
ever dip was Copenhagen
mixing.
Black.
Holy fuck! Can I fucking talk?
Yeah, sorry, mixologist, Mr. Go.
All right, so Grizzly, mint to wintergreen, and then go from there.
Mint to wintergreen, and then somebody put me onto mixing Skull Vanilla and Skull Cherry.
You made cherry vanilla Pepsi.
So I did that.
Coke.
Yeah, kinda. And then I switched to Skull Citrus, and then
Skull.
I was going through that way too fucking fast.
Skull doesn't even give a fuck about making good dip. They just make flavors. I've never gotten a buzz from Skull in my life.
I never did either.
Skull Peach
it was just because it tasted good.
Yeah.
So I would get like 3 pinches out of a whole can.
You're throwing basically a hockey puck.
Right.
Wait,
and then I went to
you guys got more than 3
Copenhagen
pinches out of a can?
At the peak of my career, I was getting 2 out of a can max.
I was gonna say for a while there, I was getting
It was bad.
maybe 3 on a good day.
I remember. Well, yeah, I remember because you remember Cody Jones's reaction when he was in the truck with us. We both put lips in. He's like, "What the fuck?" Because we both pulled the fucking half the can out. He's like, "Hey!" That was
Remember during the Brantley Gilbert concert when Zach Morris bet me they couldn't put a whole can in my mouth?
Yes, I vividly remember the stupid things that we did. Remember when we told Phil to make a mouth guard and he put it in his filled his top lips and his bottom lip?
Yeah.
Then he threw up.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Why?
I was like, because you could just say things to him and he'd do them. I was like, Phil, you ever done the redneck mouth guard? He goes, Psh, never even heard of it. I go, of course you haven't. You're not cool enough. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, redneck mouth guards for champion dippers. He's like, bud, I'm a champion dipper. I was like, doesn't look like it. And then I was like, you got to fill your whole lower lip and your upper lip so you have a literal mouth guard of dip in your mouth. He's like, give me the can. Does it? Yeah, it was brutal because there's nowhere to go. At that point, you just have to open your mouth and just let it drain.
Let it drain.
Just let it go, yeah.
And so it was.
I don't even know. I remember when Zach bet me I couldn't do the full can at once, so I did it. And then we're parking cars.
You were woozy.
And felt like I was dying. Yeah. I am pretty sure I had nicotine poisoning.
Well, we had you with nicotine poison. We had Bean on Adderall. It was a fucking mess. We're just parking cars. I'm like, what is happening? Why is everybody inebriated? What are we doing? Anyways. Good times. All right. Well, so we got, if I'm remembering correctly, we were universal on everything but the Packers 49ers. We had the Ravens beating the Texans, we had the Lions beating the Bucks, we had the Bills beating the Chiefs, and then Nico and I, with the proper use of our prefrontal cortexes, have chosen the 49ers, and James, with his post-lobotomy, has chosen the Packers.
Correct.
Okay.
If the Packers win, y'all gotta let me pie the both of you.
I'll do that.
No.
You can pie me. I'm always up for a pie. I think it's a fun bet.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect.
Gentleman's agreement.
Gentleman's agreement for the TikTok.
Well, it's not like you can shake on it. You're
right. Well,
do it for the vine.
Yeah, do it for the vine. All right. So that concludes our little catch up here, boys. Anything that you want to say before we go? Did you learn anything? Any little quips, any drips, anything fun in the sports world that you'd like to let the world know?
No, all I can say is that I'm getting excited, more and more excited as the winter progresses, that we don't have to wear the caddy suit when it's 80 degrees outside.
Amen, brother. Amen,
80
brother.
degrees. We're going in the spring.
Buddy, we're going to go in August.
I don't want to die.
You won't die. I have plenty of water.
You know what? No. You know when we'll do this? We'll make this James's present to me for my 30th birthday.
Perfect. Couldn't ask for better. What about you, James? Anything that you'd like to drop?
Not really.
All right then.
I think I just want to say, Cowboys suck.
Yes.
And
yes.
Haha to all the Browns fans, because y'all was talking mad shit going into this week about how the Bengals weren't in the playoffs. You were just running that fucking yap.
Yeah. All they did was take a road trip to Houston.
Yeah. Shit. My team wasn't invited. Your team could at least showed up.
Right. All right then, folks. There you have it. Remember to follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything at Short Fat Bald Pod. Share the podcast, leave a review. Everything helps. And as always, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time on Short, Fat, and Balding.
Thanks to Gangsta.